Thank you. Next, we welcome Tom Tarantino, Senior Legislative Assistant for the Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America.
Madam Chairwoman, Ranking Member, and members of the committee, thank you for inviting IAVA to present our legislative priorities for 2011. On behalf of the 200,000 member veterans and supporters, we would like to thank both committees for your commitment to our nation's veterans. In the last several years, you were instrumental in the passage of the post-9/11 GI Bill, advance appropriations, record VA budget increases, mandatory face-to-face mental health screening for every service member, most recently, upgrades to the post-9/11 GI Bill that expanded benefits for over 400,000 service members. Thank you. As an Iraq veteran with 10 years of service in the Army, I have seen firsthand the difficulties that many veterans face when transitioning from active duty service member to veteran. I've seen wounded warriors who have made extraordinary sacrifices on the front line return home with physical and mental health injuries. And I've also seen young veterans who spent most of their formative years in uniform struggle to find a job after leaving service. For both, the transition is difficult and seemingly impossible. It is for these veterans and millions of others who support them that each year IAVA asks, is our country prepared to build and support the next greatest generation? Unfortunately, with skyrocketing veteran unemployment, record high suicide rates, and hundreds of thousands of veterans desperately waiting for their earned VA benefits, we are far from being able to answer yes. But we are confident we can do it, and we present these committees a blueprint for addressing these issues head-on to ensure that every veteran has the unwavering support for the transition home. We are ready to work with you to fundamentally change the way America cares for its veterans and to build the next greatest generation. Now this year, we believe Congress must focus on the 5 priorities. Employ the next greatest generation, prevent suicide among troops and veterans, reduce the VA claims backlog, improve care for female veterans, and ease the transition home by fully funding the VA. All of these priorities are in my written statement as well as a recently released policy agenda. For the sake of time, I will focus on how to employ the next greatest generation. Our newest veterans face a tough economy and serious employment challenges. In 2010, the unemployment rate for Iraq and Afghanistan veterans was a staggering 11.5%, leaving over 210,000 combat veterans struggling to find gainful employment in the most severe economic recession in decades. We must act now. We must pass a comprehensive veterans jobs package that creates jobs for veterans, protects jobs for veterans, and promotes veteran entrepreneurship. Creating jobs for veterans means finally solving the tough problems that we have largely ignored in the past. Veterans gain valuable skills and experiences in the military, and we must ensure that they can translate these skills to the business and the academic worlds to ensure that veterans have an opportunity to use the technical skills they acquire as a result of their military education and experience. We have already invested millions in these men and women each, so why not profit from this investment? We recommend Congress order a study and report of the similarities and the differences between military and civilian skills, vocational certifications, and licenses. This study must be conducted through coordination with private business and trade groups, educational institutions, and the Departments of Labor, Education, Defense, and Veterans Affairs. We can't create jobs unless employers are willing to hire. So Congress should incentivize the hiring of Iraq and Afghanistan veterans by creating a robust structure of tax credits and tax relief for employers. For example, we must reauthorize the Work Opportunity Tax Credit for veterans and make filing that credit simple and information about that tax credit available to employers. It's not enough to simply get veterans to work, though. We also have to protect our Guard and Reserve forces from job discrimination. Currently, USERRA regulations are weak and hard to enforce. By creating standardized civil and criminal procedures for those who violate USERRA, we will give USERRA the teeth it needs to protect veterans' employment. IAVA also recommends that Congress expands USERRA to cover members of the National Guard who are called to active duty for domestic response. Presently, a Guard member activated for home state deployment operations are not protected by USERRA, meaning that you could have a member of the Louisiana National Guard cleaning up the BP oil spill standing next to a member of the D.C. National Guard who deployed across state lines on the same beach, but the D.C. National Guard is protected by USERRA. His job is protected, but that person cleaning up their own community can be fired from their job in that same community. Congress should also encourage entrepreneurship among new veterans. IAVA recommends that Congress expand the Small Business Patriot Loan Program by establishing a national outreach campaign. It should also guarantee that veteran-owned small business gets bonding similar to the structure of the VA Home Loan Guarantee. We should also expand the entrepreneurship boot camp for veterans beyond just veterans with disabilities. Every veteran should have access to this, and we should use the small business centers across the country as well as the 16 veteran business centers to coordinate with community colleges to make these programs available. Caring for the men and women who defend our freedom is a solemn responsibility that belongs to the lawmakers, business leaders, and civilians alike. In the past several years, we've seen a turning point in the way we provide for our nation's warriors. However, we must remain ever vigilant to continue to show men and women who volunteer to serve their country that we all have their backs. Thank you for your time and attention. I'll be happy to answer your questions.
Thank you very much.